Imagine looking at a cup of tea. You see the cup, you see the table, you can see your hand holding the kettle. But when you pour the tea, you do not see the liquid flow in. There is no smooth stream. 1 second, the kettle is tilted, the next second, the cup is suddenly fuller. Not filling, fuller. Like reality skipped a few frames. Now imagine crossing a road like that. You look left, a car is there. You look again, the car is somewhere else. It did not drive there in your vision, it jumped. This is not science fiction. This is a rare condition called Akinetopsia or motion blindness. A person with Akinetopsia can still see objects. They can see color, they can see shapes, they can recognize things, but movement itself becomes broken. And that raises a very uncomfortable question. Are you actually seeing the world, or is it your brain quietly animating it for you? Because motion feels obvious. It feels like one of the simplest things in vision. A bird flies, a person walks, water falls, a hand moves. You do not think, yes, my brain is processing temporal visual change across space. You just think that thing moved. But your brain is doing a lot of work to make movement feel effortless. Your eyes do not send your brain a finished movie, they send signals, light, edges, contrast, changes, direction, timing. Then your brain has to build the experience of moving world. And usually it does this so well that you never notice the construction until something breaks. And one of the most famous was a patient known as LM. She could still see objects clearly, but motion became strange, fragmented, almost impossible to trust. Pouring liquid was difficult because she could not properly see the flow. Crossing a street became dangerous because cars did not appear to move smoothly. Even conversations became harder because facial expressions are not just shapes, they are motion. A smile is movement, a raised eyebrow is movement, someone turning their head is movement, a person reaching forward is movement. Take motion away and the world is still visible, but it stops behaving like a world. It becomes a slideshow with missing slides. And the really strange part is this: LM was not blind. Her eyes could still take in visual information. The problem was deeper. It was in brain's motion processing system. One important area involved in motion perception is often called MT or V5. You do not need to remember the name, you remember the job. This region just helps your brain understand movement, direction, speed, flow, where something is going, how fast it may reach you. It is one of the reasons you can catch a ball, dodge a person in a hallway, watch traffic, follow a running dog, or notice someone waving from across the street. Without that kind of processing, the world does not simply become blurry. It becomes unreliable. A moving object may appear in one place, then another, and then another, without the smooth in between. Like watching a low budget stop motion universe with terrible Wi Fi. And suddenly, everyday life becomes absurdly hard. Pouring coffee, risky. You cannot judge the rising level smoothly. Walking through a crowd, stressful. People seem to appear in changing positions. Driving, basically impossible. Crossing roads, terrifying. Even watching someone's lip move while they talk can become confusing because movement is not decoration, movement is information. It tells you what is about to happen. A still car tells you where it is. A moving car tells you whether you are about to become a cautionary tale. That is the difference. And that is why Akinetopsia is so fascinating. It reveals something we normally forget. Vision is not one thing. Seeing is not a single ability. Your brain has different systems working together. One system helps identifying objects, one helps understand color, one helps judge depth, one helps recognize faces, one helps track movement. So when people say I saw it, that sounds simple. But inside the brain, seeing it is a whole committee meeting. And apparently, one department can quit while the others keep showing up to work. This is also why rare neurological cases are so important. They're not just medical curiosities, they're like cracks in the wall. They let, they let us see the machinery behind normal experiences. Most of us do not notice motion perception because it works. The brain gives us a smooth world and we accept it. But Akinetopsia shows that smoothness is not guaranteed. Smoothness is generated. Your brain is stitching moment to moment together so quickly that reality feels continuous. And now you have to ask, if the brain stitches motion together, what else is it stitching? Your sense of time, your sense of direction, your sense of self. Because you're not passively watching the world. Your brain is editing it live. It stabilizes your vision when your eyes move. It fills in blind spots. It predicts where objects are going. It decides what changes matter and what changes can be ignored. And most of the time, this is helpful. If your brain showed you raw visual chaos, you would not be able to function. You need editing. You need prediction. You need the illusion of smoothness. But Akinetopsia is what happens when one kind of editing fails. The world is still there. The person is still there. The cup is still there. The road is still there. But motion connecting one moment to the next is missing. It removes the happening. A room without motion is just a room. Now, Akinetopsia is extremely rare. A recent review found only a small number of unique reported individuals in a clinical literature, with LM being the best known case. Her case became important because it showed that motion vision can be selectively damaged while other parts of the vision remain relatively intact. And that is the point. Your brain does not just ask, what am I looking at? It also asks, where is it going? How fast is it changing? Is it coming towards me? Should I react now? Motion is survival. Long before we had language, math, buildings, traffic lights, or group chats that somehow need 14 replies for one plan, we needed to know one thing. Is that thing moving towards me? Because movement can mean food. Movement can mean danger. Movement can mean another person. Movement can mean something alive. That is why your brain treats motion as urgent. A tiny movement in the corner of your eye can grab your attention faster than a still object directly in front of you. Your brain is biased toward motion because motion may matter. So imagine losing that. Not losing sight. Losing the warning system inside sight. That is why Akinetopsia is more than seeing in snapshots. It is a reminder that reality is not only made of objects. Reality is made of changes. And your brain is constantly translating those changes into meaning. A glass tipping over is not just a glass in two positions. It's a prediction. It'll fall. It'll break. Move your hand. A face changing expression is not just muscles shifting. It's a message. They're confused. They're angry. Or they're smiling. Maybe stop explaining your dream in unnecessarily detail. Motion gives the world intention. Without motion, events lose their glue. And this brings us to the creepiest part. You might think you see motion because your eyes capture everything continuously. But your eyes are not cameras. Your brain is not a screen. Your visual system is more like a prediction machine that keeps updating itself. It samples, it compares, it fills gaps, it guesses what should happen next. Most of the time, the guess is so accurate that it feels like direct reality. But rare conditions like Akinetopsia shows us that direct reality is not what we experience. We experience processed reality, a version your brain can use. And maybe that is the real horror here. Not that one person saw the world like a slideshow, but all of us are watching a brain-made movie. And we only notice the editor when the edits go wrong. So the next time you see rain falling, traffic passing, someone waving, or even water pouring into a glass, notice how smooth it feels. The smoothness is not simple. It's a neurological achievement. Your brain is taking light and time and change and turning it into motion. turning motion into meaning, turning meaning into action. And if the system fails, the world does not go dark, it gets stranger. It becomes visible but disconnected. A place where cars jump, water teleports, faces lose expression, and life stops flowing. So here is the question. If your brain can lose motion, which part of reality are you trusting right now? Just because it has never been broken before.